Hi and welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and I am going to be sewing all of my April Cotton Cuts Gnomes into a quilt top. So I'm going to be using some leftover purple squares for some cornerstones, and I'm going to cut out some sashing and the borders. So I'm going to use my Stripology ruler, and I'm going to cut out 6 2.5-inch strips. Cut out those 2.5 strips. And then I'm going to cut out 2 5-inch strips. And 4 6.5-inch strips. So I have all of my strips cut. I'm just going to stack these all up on top of each other. And then I'm going to cut 6 12.5-inch strips and 6 22.5-inch strips. I now have all of those pieces cut, so now I'm just going to start pinning. I'm going to start by pinning my first sashing row, then the block row, then a sashing row, then a block row, and then the last sashing row. So I'm going to pin it all together, and then I'll take it over to the sewing machine, and I'll see you when I'm ready to sew. Okay, I'm back over here at the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew this all down. I'm going to do this web piecing where I sew one column over to the next column, and then I keep those threads there. I do not clip them. And I got to turn the sewing machine on for it to work. So I will see you back when I'm ready to press. So I've got everything sewed. So I am over here at the pressing station, and I'm basically just going to press everything towards this sashing here. So I'm going to get this all pressed and then pinned, and I'll meet you back over at the sewing machine. I'm back over here sewing. I had sewed my, took my 6.5 inch borders and cut the selvage edges off, and then I joined them together. So 2 of the 6.5 inch strips was sewn together in this, 2 in the 6.5 inch 2 of the 6.5 inch borders were sewed together in a second strip, and now I'm just started sewing down the rest of this center of this quilt top, and then after I get this sewn, we'll go back over to the pressing station and press some more, and then cut the borders to the length we need. Okay, so I went ahead and I've got that center of that quilt top all pressed out, and now I'm just cutting my borders, and I've already measured my quilt top, and when I measured it, I folded it in half and measured it, I got 25 1/4, which the full length would be 50 1/2, but since I've got these on that fold here, I'm just measuring at 25 1/4 here. Which is where I'm going to cut my border through my side borders. And then I'll save those for some other project. So now I'm just going to press these seams right here and then pin the side borders on my quilt and sew them. So I have my side borders sewed on and pressed, and now I just have to cut my top border. Now I already measured the top of the quilt, and because I had it folded over, it measured 21 1/4. So that would mean that the top, the width of the quilt would be 42 1/2. But since it was folded over, it's 21 1/4. My strips, my top and my bottom strip are folded over too, so I can just cut it at 21 1/4. So I'm going to cut this, pin it, sew it, press it, and then give you one final look. Okay, there it is, all hung up, the April gnomes. Now this came out to around 42 1/2 inches by 60 inches. And I think when I quilt it, I'm going to quilt some spring flowers on it. All right, till next time. Bye.